Thank you.
We like the story. We just want to add one little piece of clarification. If you want it to be, it's meant to be. Because you create your own reality. So don't put it off on somebody else. If you want it to be. And if it isn't easy, it's because you're not letting it be easy. If it's meant to be, make it easy. Think about another way of saying that. Since whatever I want, I can have, how can I make this easy on myself? And the answer to that is always, believe it. But see how helpful the universe is to just keep coaxing you along in your belief? Isn't that a nice thing?
What's different for me and what you're saying is I come from a 12-step program that led me to believe that if it's not easy, let it go. Surrender it. And so if you're fighting against something,
But what is different in what we are saying to you? We're saying, let go of your resistance. And in the absence of resistance, there is ease. And then what you want does come easily.
I must have a belief that what I want, I can't necessarily have. I mean, I don't know.
But we think it's a good thing that you were saying, let it come easily. You're asking for ease. You want to give up struggle. But we want you to know that in the first segment of this day, we made a very strong case for the advantage of just giving up the struggle. There's just no reason for it. It's self-imposed every time, and it's you working against you. And once you get that, then things do get easier. One more thing. You've inspired us to say this. This is a really good thing. You're going to like this. So we talk a lot about the path of least resistance, and what we mean is your inner being knows where you stand in terms of manifestation and emotion, vibration, in relationship to everything you want, meaning everything that's in your vortex. Your inner being knows where you are in relationship to all of it, and your inner being knows the path of least resistance. So what that means is your inner being, in its complete, absolute love for you, takes into consideration every belief that you have that is in your way and still leads you around those beliefs to what you want. Don't you like knowing that? Your inner being isn't saying, clean it up and then we'll talk. Your inner being is saying, you are where you are, what you want is what you want, and with all of this in consideration, this is the path of least resistance. This is your path of least resistance, or most allowance, around your resistance, which is just fine. Feel that. So that means the more you can trust that your inner being knows where you want to be, and trust that your inner being knows where you are and isn't mad at you, and trust that your inner being knows where you are and isn't holding it against you, and so therefore isn't making it more difficult, that 100% of the time your inner being is making it as easy as you will let it be. But your inner being cannot believe for you. Your inner being can only know what your inner being knows. And in time, you can show yourself that you know it too.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue to the question that since San Diego I've been wanting to ask. I'd like some clarity on my business. I have a business I've been working on for 3.5 years, and as much as I've enjoyed and really loved so many pieces of it, it's a dog treat business, but I love the photo shoots and the Instagram and all the pieces of it. The needle on the sales won't move. $500,000 has been put into this business, and the needle on the bags won't move. And I'm having a Kickstarter next month, which is my last idea to save this business that means so much to me, but I don't understand why I'm learning and I'm enjoying and I'm growing.
But you see, you're not only doing that, you're doing both. You love this and you don't love that. You said some really powerful things to us about belief. Your belief is that the needle won't move. You're a wise woman. The reason that you believe it is because you're watching it. You're not making it up. You're watching it, and therefore you believe it, and therefore you can't get past it. And it's a lot to ask somebody to not believe what is. We're not saying don't believe it, because it is. We're not saying don't believe it because the accountants will back it up with their figures. We're not saying don't believe it. We're saying don't give your attention to beliefs that hurt you when you give your attention to beliefs that hurt you. Don't give your attention to beliefs that hurt you when you give your attention to beliefs that hurt you. We're saying don't give your attention to beliefs that hurt you. We're saying there's no value in giving your attention to a belief that hurts you. We're saying there's no value in giving your attention to something that is true that you don't want. Because every time you give your attention to something that's true that you don't want, you practice the vibration of it and you don't let it be easy. And then the needle won't move. The needle won't move because your beliefs don't move. And your beliefs don't move because you keep looking at what is. What is keeps holding you right where you are because you've got your attention up on right where you are, because that's what humans do. You face reality. But you are a new breed of humans. Maybe you don't want to face as much reality as you want to create a new reality. So we're not saying don't believe it. We're just saying don't keep that belief active. Replace that belief that hurts you with other beliefs that don't hurt you. Like these dog treats are really, really good. And like this is really, really fun. And like I'm really, really good at so many aspects of this. And like this was a really big dream and this was a really right time for it, because never before in all of the universe has there been a time when more people were more in love with more dogs. There's just never been a better time for that. Those beliefs are also factual and true, and they don't hurt when you focus upon them. They don't feel bad to you because they don't get you cross-current of you see.
Honest to God, they are my beliefs. It is the best dog treat in the entire world.
We know that.
And it's also the most expensive one. And I said, but isn't it possible that it's just not a great business idea?
Well, you're not going to get us to ever admit that you can't have everything that you want. These are the things that aren't possible. It's not possible for an idea to be so wrong that it can't come about. It's possible that you hold beliefs that are in your way. Esther had an interesting experience. She has a new house in San Antonio. And everything about it's wonderful, or most everything. But one thing that was a little stumbling thing is when they went to turn the fire feature on the pool, it made a howling sound in the house. And the man looked at her like, "Can you live with that?" And she looked at him like, "Are you an idiot?" She didn't say anything like that. She smiled as she thought really bad things. And so then she said, "Well, let's turn the fire feature off. Let's just turn the pool heater on." Still howled. So not only does the fire feature make it howl, but the water being warm makes it howl too. So after some conversation with a lot of people, the utility company and the plumbers that installed the gas line and the builders who are the main contractors and the owner of the company that built the house, it was concluded that the remedy is to put in a new gas line, which requires disassembling the house to some degree. So Esther was not really very happy about that idea, but understood. And so as they talked, they figured out how they can go up through the garage and make a big hole in the ceiling of the garage. And that's all right with Esther because it's in the garage and they'll fix it. You'll never know. And then go through the attic, which is all right because she doesn't live up there hardly at all. And then they'll come down the outside of the house and make a big mess on the outside of the house, but then they'll put it back and you'll never know. So the disruption to Esther is not going to be that great. This is the path of least resistance for their screw-up. So as Esther got thinking about it, she got very philosophical about it and very Abrahamish about it. And she thought, my house and its things, my water heaters and my range and my fireplaces and my fire feature and my pool and its heater are asking for more than the supply can give. I have more desire than belief. The fact that that pool, that house was asking for more than that system could provide. Esther doesn't take anything that happens in her life experience as just a funny fluke. She owns it all. She knows that something about that is information for her. I've got a bigger desire than I have a supply. Oh, where have I heard that before? as she thought back about all the conversations about open your valve, open your valve, open your valve, and let the energy that creates worlds flow through. So there's nothing wrong with coming to an awareness that you have a desire